Give up. We will never concede. Our country has had enough. We will not take it anymore. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special. But go home and go home in peace. The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol have defiled the seat of American democracy. You do not represent our country. And to those who broke the law, you will pay.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the evening catch-up. It is Friday. It is Memorial Weekend. Memorial Day weekend? Yeah, it's 4-day weekend. What's up? We are also celebrating today being Riddle Girl's birthday. Happy birthday. Very much a Riddle Girl. She's in the background, in the shadows. You can actually see her presents that me and her daughter got her. My daughter. Her daughter. Our daughter. This right here is a mini ATX case. Is that what it's called, Riddle? Mini ATX, I think. Yeah, mini ATX computer case. We're going to be putting together a little mini ITX. A mini ITX case. So we're going to be putting that together at some point, a little bit by little bit, kind of like how I like to build a rifle back in the day. I can't wait to see the finished product. It's white, which is really clean. It's also got, and she's, yes.
Hello, everybody.
There's Riddle, looking really nice right now. So I thought I'd look nice too. We're going to have a great time tonight. If you did not know, we also have a gaming channel on Twitch, right? Tonight we will not be on the YouTube gaming channel, but we will be on the Twitch gaming channel tonight. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a good time doing all that. But thank you very much for all the birthday wishes. Bikes and Bullets says, happy birthday. Quantum says, you're looking beautiful, Riddle. Yep. Let's see. We also have Repubs block January 6th commish. LOL. Of course, people are going to believe the excuses and not the reality of the narrative. It should be good. Good evening. Well, good evening, Bikes and Bullets. Crowds for hire, crisis hackers, and the like were all mixed together amongst common people. I don't doubt it. How many of each? Don't really know. Does it really matter? Maybe. What's up, Quantum Lotus? And happy birthday, Riddle. Yep. All right. Cool. And Broken Patriot says, hi, boss lady. Broken Patriot, brah. Are you coming over? Are you coming over for Memorial Day weekend? Are we doing it on Sunday or Monday? I think we're doing it on Sunday, right? Or is it? We're doing yeah. I think it's Sunday or Monday. Let me know, Riddle. We got some bone-in ribeyes. Sunday. It's Sunday. We're gonna be doing the cookout on Sunday. So, Broken Patriot, you're more than welcome to come over and enjoy some of our food. We got ribeyes. We're gonna be grilling on the grill. We got some kilt lifter. We got some whatever you want. We got margaritas, but we also got hamburgers and stuff like that. So we're gonna be grilling out. We're gonna have a good time on Sunday. Hope to see you there. And I've been researching how to grill a steak really, really good. So I'm excited. Sunday sounds fine. Good. Awesome. I will make sure that we touch base on basically the time. But I would imagine in the afternoon when it starts to cool down a little bit, maybe a little bit before, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I guess I'll start grilling by the time, maybe 4. We'll see. All right. So that's all the business here. You are all more than welcome to join us in Twitch later on. Just so you know, when we're in Twitch mode, though, and when we're in gaming mode, we don't talk politics. We just play games and have a good time. Everyone's welcome, just so you know. We don't talk politics, though. And if you want to go there after here, it'll be about... I usually start that at around, 8 o'clock our time, which is 10 Central and like 11 Eastern. So it's up to you guys, but we're going to be continuing the party over there after this. Sweet. Senate Republican blocked politicized January 6th commission on the event that happened at the Capitol. Senate Republicans on Friday blocked creation of a panel to study the January 6th event on the Capitol, turning aside a politicized spectacle wanted by Democratic leaders in the guise of an independent investigation. Well, I mean, that's going to really suck for the news people out there. This is all they talk about on the news, isn't it? The so-called January 6th Commission is designed by Democrat leaders to serve as a forum of a third impeachment trial of former President Trump, who Democrats blame for the incitement of a riot at the Capitol. Wasn't that much of a riot. Only one person died, and they were one of the peaceful protesters that didn't have any weapons. There's plenty of peaceful, and they were considered peaceful or mostly peaceful protests the whole last year's summer, where lots of people died. Don't see any independent investigations going into those now, do you? The so-called, I already read that part. The Senate vote was 54-35, short of the 60 votes needed to take up a House-passed bill that would have formed a 10-member commission, evenly split between the two parties, although staff support was not promised to be balanced. Yeah. So, yeah, we can have Republicans on there, but obviously it's going to be the Republicans who wanted this special counsel in the first place, so how fair and balanced is that? The Senate vote, I already read that. Republican Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma said plenty of investigations on the January 6th event had been well underway. Senate committees have already gathered information and heard testimony from the Department of Homeland Security, Secret Service, and the Department of Justice, FBI, ATF, and the Department of Defense. The architect of the Capitol, U.S. Capitol Police, the National Guard, the D.C. Mayor, the Metropolitan Police, and both former sergeant-at-arms. Unlike the House, which is on a mission to seek tabloid-style testimony, the Senate committees are focused on improving the safety and security of all U.S. Capitol by addressing the serious need and support for the U.S. Capitol Police. You know, the U.S. Capitol Police, who have now threatened, I don't know if you guys knew this, I don't think we covered it on the evening catch-up. The U.S. Capitol Police sent a letter basically saying that they want this investigation and politicizing themselves. Is that what you want out of your police? Is that they're now telling you what you're going to do? Goodness, this country. I forget what video I saw that had that in there. I wish I had shared it now. While the House fought over how to form a bipartisan commission, the Senate actually completed its bipartisan work without fanfare or drama. 6 Republicans voted with Democrats to move forward with the commission. 11 senators missed the rare Friday vote. Though the January 6th commission bill passed the House earlier this month with the support of almost 3 dozen Republican, GOP senators said the commission would only be a process to demonize peaceful Trump supporters, and Trump has called it a Democrat trap. Demon rat? Is that what we're calling them? The vote is emblematic of a profound mistrust between the two parties since the event, especially among Republicans, as some in the party have downplayed any violence at the Capitol in January. I want to know the actual violence of it. I don't remember ever seeing any video of anybody hitting anybody in uniform with anything. Am I wrong? Did that happen? I mean, I don't actually go out and search for this shit. Let's see. Some of which was clearly instigated by Antifa members. So there you go. Let me catch up on the chat because I see you guys are blowing it up a little bit. Sunday sounds fine. Gerald B. All reloading and guns. 35 Rhino signed that bill. Mr. Tommy Boy 9 says hello and happy birthday to Riddle Girl. So thank you very much, Mr. Tommy Boy 9. Riddle Girl's not listening right now, but I will tell her your well wishes.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh, no, she already did. She already saw it. Oh, Quantum, I love it. Is that a baby Trump with a Biden coming up behind it and sniffing it? That's hilarious. I heard that 2 Dems didn't vote for it. Wow. Vote for what? Do you know which ones, Gerald? I would love to know the 2 Democrats who did not go with their party on that. That's amazing. Please hit the thumbs up. Thank you very much, Mr. TB9. I appreciate it. What's up, Quantum Love? State Republican leader Mitch McConnell has said he believes the panel's investigation would be partisan despite an even split among party members. McConnell said the Democrats, they like to continue litigating the former president into the future. Still, 6 of his caucuses defied him, arguing that an independent look is needed. Alaska Senator Lisa Murkowski, a frequent Trump foe whom the former president has said he will oppose in a re-election effort next year, said Thursday evening that she needs to know more about what happened that day and why. Why did it happen? Because you are ramping up the rhetoric. And one way or another, the people are bought into this rhetoric long enough that both sides are getting pissed. It's not just us. And it's definitely not just Antifa. We are coming to a head. This country is as divided as as divided as I know it ever had been. Except for the Civil War, obviously. Truth is hard stuff, but we've got a responsibility to it, she told reporters. We can't just pretend that nothing bad happened or that people just got too excitable. Something bad happened. What bad happened? What bad happened? Y'all shot an unarmed lady? A vet? A service member? Unarmed? For going into a house that her tax dollars fund? And it's important to lay that out. GOP opposition to the panel has revived Democratic pressure to do away with the filibuster, a time-honored Senate tradition that requires a vote by 60 of the 100 senators to cut off debate and to advance a bill. With the Senate evenly split 50-50, Democrats need support of 10 Republicans to move the commission bill. Yeah, see, and every single time, you remember I was talking about that. They've already removed the filibuster or whatever that rule is on multiple different things. You know, like, oh, you're doing the nuclear option here because once you take that away, you know, as soon as the Republicans get the majority, you're screwed. And it seems like they keep on doing it. I bet you they do it again. The Republicans' political arguments over the event has frustrated not only Democrats, but also those who fought off the few rioters, despite the siege being composed mostly of peaceful Trump supporters who strolled through the Capitol unopposed, unconfronted, and peaceful. So they sat at Nancy Pelosi's desk and they took a picture. So fucking what? You know, and Trump comes out saying, you do not represent our country. You are not true. Fuck you, Trump. That's what I like to say. Republican Texas Senator John Quorum said he believes Democrats are trying to use the commission as a political tool. I don't think this is the only way to get to the bottom of what happened, Quorum said. Nothing that the Senate committees are also looking into the event. It wasn't that bad. It could have been a lot worse. It should have been. It should have been a lot worse. Quantum, did you get your package? Says Riddle. I didn't hear which ones, but I heard that 2 didn't. Okay. See, it's right there. The childish and only reason was because they just want to demonize Trump supporters. That's it. That's why they are against an investigation. That's why they're against the investigation? Because they just want to demonize Trump supporters? Huh. The PSYOP was just pointed out. A real investigation would lead to finance whom organize who these people from different factions are, including operators. Well, first of all, if you had a commission, if you had a bipartisan commission, would it really be bipartisan? As I said, there's a few Republicans who voted to go forward. You know, they went with the Democrats, the rhinos. Aren't those the same Republicans, though, that would be put onto this council? So obviously they're not going to, even if they move forward with the council, they're not going to bring up Antifa. They're not going to bring up Black Lives Matter. They're not going to bring up any of these people who got into that crowd because it doesn't serve their interest. There's only one person they could have put on that, and I don't even know if it's possible because I don't understand how it all works that well. But the only person that I could see being put on that would actually give a shit on what actually went down and everybody involved would be Rand Paul. If Rand Paul was involved in that, then yeah, maybe. You just read it in the article. Yeah, no, I get it. Man who shot video of the fatal Capitol shooting is arrested and remains focus of a political storm. So this is the guy who captured Ashley Babbitt's death on film. Is that it? He's a speed skater. He organizes protests, alienated activists on both ends of political spectrum. He drove an Uber. And his 40-minute video following the event at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, capturing the fatal shooting of a Trump supporter, has placed John Earl Sullivan, activist John, I guess that's his nickname, at the center of conservative campaign to blame liberal groups for the Capitol event. The video has also landed him in jail. Federal authorities tracking down Capitol trespasser watched his video, interviewed him, and then obtained warrants on Thursday, charging him with causing a civil disorder, trespassing, and disorderly conduct. Sullivan repeatedly extorted peaceful protest goers to enter the building and overwhelm the police. So he was riling them up and seemed to convince the Capitol police officers to walk away from the glass door entry to the House Speaker's lobby. And this video shows moments later with Sullivan screaming warnings about a gun. Peaceful event goer Ashley Babbitt is shot and killed on the video by Capitol police officers. Sullivan, 26, later claimed he was there to document, not participate in the event. There you go. His video attracted the attention of right-wing leaders, including President Trump's lawyer, Giuliani, who said it showed that Antifa was the true organizer of the attack, and Mo Brooks of Alaska, who called Sullivan a BLM and fascist Antifa supporter, arrested for a role in Capitol assaults. But Sullivan has hardly a darling of the left. He began organizing protests in Utah last year, and at the first one of these protests, shot a motorist, said Lex Scott, a racial justice organizer who founded Black Lives Matter Utah more than 7 years ago. He shot her? Or he shot her with video? He came in to chase clout and get those media headlines, Scott said of Sullivan. Now it's not my place to tell anyone how to be an activist or what their goals should be, but the fact is that Black Lives Matter Utah has never had one arrest in 7 years. We've never caused any violence, any destruction of property, and this man comes in here and taints our reputation in a day. Activists in Utah have spent months condemning Sullivan, who has at turns identify himself as a racial justice protester and leftist documentarian, and then have warned others to be leery of his motives and any events he sponsored. John Sullivan has exploited black people, profited off our pain, and hurt the movement, said Tyrese Bellamy, the founder of BLM for Humanity movement of Salt Lake City group that works with the homeless. We've been telling people this for months, so now to see him up there as a poster child for folks to say, look, it was BLM all along, or Antifa all along. We will not allow you to say he's part of our movement to justify the destruction, insecurity, and racism of the right. Well, there you go. There's a difference of opinion. Sullivan, one of 4 sons of Jack. Yeah, I don't really give a shit about that. Okay, cool. All right, this is a story that we were going to read yesterday, but we had a lot of stuff going on, so we're going to get to it today. This is important to Riddle Girl, and I am kind of curious about it as well. You know how they're not really for your privacy here. And when you sign up for Facebook, you sign up for all these apps, you pretty much give away your privacy. This is a little bit to the contrary. India's government exceeded its legal powers by enacting rules that companies such as WhatsApp, which WhatsApp is owned by Facebook, correct, Riddle?
Yeah.
Yes. Say will force them to break end-to-end message encryption. So they're encrypting, like if I sent you a message, it would be encrypted from my end. It would encrypt it on your end if I sent you a message. And they don't like that. The government, I guess. The messaging app owned by Facebook argued in a court filing seen by Reuters. WhatsApp has filed a lawsuit in Delhi court against the government to quash a provision of a new regulation that mandates companies to divulge the first originator of information, arguing in favor of protecting privacy. In a statement on Wednesday, WhatsApp said it would engage with the Indian government to find practical solutions and protect users, but its court filings show it has taken a firmer stance against Prime Minister Narendra Modi's administration. Modi. I'm going to call him Prime Minister Modi. The rule drafted by Modi's IT ministry will lead to a dangerous invasion of privacy, and it was unconstitutional. WhatsApp argued in the 224-page court filing dates May 25th, which has been seen by Reuters but is not public. WhatsApp said the government's new regulation exceeds the scope of its rulemaking powers under Indian law, adding that it was a well-settled point that only Parliament, not the federal government, could undertake essential legislative functions. To satisfy the legality requirement, there must be a valid law of allowing for the invasion of privacy, said WhatsApp's petition, which was signed by its counsel, Brian Hennessy. In a statement, Modi's government said the rules were as per the law of the land, and WhatsApp's filing was unfortunate. WhatsApp's lawsuit escalates a growing struggle between Modi's government and tech giants, including Facebook, Google's parent Alphabet, Google, and Twitter, in one of their key global growth markets. The battle lines are drawn. The intersection of big tech, democratic values, and government control will finally decide the fate of social media in India, said this person, a partner at an Indian law firm, Barakat and Partners. Chills even lawful speech. In a sign of the tension with social media companies, Indian police visited Twitter's offices this week. The microblogging service have labeled posts by a spokesman for India's dominant party and others as containing manipulated media, after complaints that some content was fake. New Delhi has also pressed tech companies to remove it what it has described as misinformation about the sniffles pandemic ravaging India and some criticisms of the government's response to the crisis, which is claiming thousands of lives daily. WhatsApp, which counts India as its biggest market with more than 500 million users, did not comment on its court filing. The case will likely be heard in the coming days. An Indian government source told Reuters earlier on Wednesday that WhatsApp could find a way to track originators of disinformation without breaking encryption. WhatsApp's court filing shows it disagrees, saying that it wasn't possible. Urging the court to classify the new rule as illegal, the U.S. firm also made the argument that it was not aware of any other country that compels companies such as WhatsApp to change its systems so it can identify the originator of a message. It said revealing an originator could put reporters investigating unpopular issues or activists advocating for certain policies at risk of backlash. The rule violates the fundamental right to freedom of speech and expression, as it chills even lawful speech, WhatsApp said in its filing. What is lawful speech? Lawful speech is speech that doesn't hurt their feelings. That's what lawful speech is. I want to know why they care about privacy and whether it's constitutional or not in India, but they don't care about any of that here. What are they trying to hide from the Indian government? I have no idea. No idea. Okay, we have an illegal alien found guilty in a 2018 stabbing death of Molly Tibbetts in Iowa. I believe I remember hearing her name. A jury found an illegal alien farm laborer guilty of murder Friday in the abduction and killing of the University of Iowa student who vanished while out for a run in 2018. The 12-member jury unanimously found Christian Rivera guilty of first-degree murder in the stabbing death of Molly Tibbetts, who was remembered as a friendly 20-year-old who was studying to become a child psychologist. Bran Rivera, who came to the U.S. illegally from Mexico as a teenager, will be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I'm so glad he's still here. Should be life in prison in Mexico. Judge Yates ordered Rivera, who has been in custody since 2018, to be held without bond pending a July 15th sentencing hearing. The verdict came after a 2-week trial at the Scott Community Courthouse in Davenport in a case that fueled public anger against crime committed by illegal immigrants. The jury deliberated for 7 hours. That's a long time. On Thursday and on Friday. Tibbetts, who ran track, cross country in high school, never returned home after going for a routine run in her hometown of Brooklyn, Iowa. On the evening of July 18, 2018, she was reported missing the next day after she didn't show up for her summer job at the daycare. Her disappearance from the town of 1700 was immediately deemed suspicious. Yeah, that's not very many people at all. A local, state, and federal agencies joined hundreds of volunteers in a highly politicized search for her. Investigators say they broke the case open nearly a month later after obtaining surveillance videos from a homeowner that showed for a split second a shadowy figure that appears to be Tibbetts running in the distance. The video shows a black Chevy Malibu with chrome mirrors and door handles driving past 20 seconds later, and back and forth several times in the next 20 minutes. The sheriff's deputy spotted Rivera, who worked at the local dairy farm, driving the distinctive vehicle the next day. During a lengthy interrogation that began August 20th of 2018, Rivera said that he drove past Tibbetts while she was running and turned around to get another look because he found her attractive. He eventually said he approached Tibbetts and fought with her after she tried to get away and threatened to call police. He claimed that he blacked out, but remembered driving with her body in the trunk of his car. He led investigators in the early morning hours of August 21 to a remote cornfield where they found her badly decomposed body hidden under corn stalks. An autopsy found that Tibbetts died of a sharp force injury from several stab wounds to her head, neck, and chest. DNA testing shows that her blood was found in the trunk of the Malibu, but investigators never found the murder weapon. Prosecutor Scott Brown said that in a closing argument that Rivera killed Tibbetts out of anger after she rebuked him. He said Rivera also had a sexual motive, noting that Tibbetts was found partially naked with her legs spread when her body was found. During dramatic testimony Wednesday, the 26-year-old Rivera denied that he killed Tibbetts. Okay, you know where the body is. Okay, he denied it. He claimed for the first time that the two masked men took him at gunpoint from his trailer, forced him to drive as one of them killed Tibbetts on a rural road, and directed him to a rural area where he then left her body. I mean, you might as well. I mean, really, at this point, you might as well go for it. What do you got to lose, right? Rivera's defense suggested that one of the men may have been Tibbetts' boyfriend, Dalton Jack, who admitted that he had an affair with another woman and past anger problems. But police said that they cleared Jack, who had bought an engagement ring and planned to soon propose marriage to Tibbetts, after establishing that he was out of town for work when Tibbetts vanished. Then President Trump, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, and other Republicans had cited the vicious crime ahead of the 2018 midterm elections to call for that's why I probably remember hearing her, for harsher policies to deter illegal immigration. But their efforts eventually stopped after Tibbetts' parents said the slaying should not be used to advance a political agenda that Tibbetts would have opposed. Okay, so Tibbetts was okay with illegal immigration, I guess. Well, I'm glad she's okay with it. It cost her life. Yes, when Facebook bought WhatsApp, I started using it less. I never even heard of I kind of heard of WhatsApp. I have no idea what the hell it's all about, but okay. I want to know why they care about, okay. Yeah, I read all that. Maryland's largest school district spent $454,000 to promote a woke anti-MAGA indoctrination. I hope you know where what your kids are studying in school. If you got I don't care what school it is, unless you homeschool, I hope you know exactly what they're teaching your kids in school. Because I thought the school that I sent my kid to was a decent school. I was wrong. I trusted in the people because they were Christians. You got to make sure. Maryland's largest school district taught students that Republican phrases such as "Make America Great Again" were examples of white supremacy, according to the documents obtained by conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch. Let's see, $454,000 on an anti-racist system audit. Students taught that "Make America Great Again" is covert white supremacy. Difference between overt and covert hateful white supremacy. Overt white supremacy is all the bad guys that are actually supremacists. Look, you can see the triple K's in there and everything. Neos, right? But "Make America Great Again" is right here. It's right there. You can't probably see it, but it's right there. Wow. Let's see. Not challenging racist jokes is down here. So if somebody tells a racist joke, like how do you tell if an Asian is pregnant? You put a Rubik's Cube up her woohoo, and if it comes back solved, there's an Asian in there. That if you don't call me out for my horrible behavior, then you are covert. The documents obtained from Montgomery County Public Schools detail the district's anti-racist courses, which include critical race theory. In one of the district's middle schools, students who attended a social justice class were taught that MAGA is a covert white supremacy slogan, just like the N-word or the triple K lynchings and neos. Other examples of covert WS listed on the worksheet included police murdering POC, people of color, color blindness, bootstrap theory, and Confederate flags. Confederate flags, you know the Democrat flag? Yeah. Another worksheet asks students, what is white privilege? It then explains white privilege includes having a positive relationship with the police. If you respect police officers and you don't get accosted, if you're respectful, well then you're a supremacist. Generally, soaking in media blatantly biased towards my race and living ignorant of the dire state of racism today. Soaking in media blatantly biased towards my race. So if you're watching Fox News or anything that isn't totally pandering to you, I guess. Or if you're living in ignorant of dire state of racism today, if you don't think it's that bad. Students were also provided with definitions of hot button terms such as power, which was defined as wealth, whiteness, citizenship, patriarchy, heterosexism, and education. So if you're hetero, and if you're smart, if you're straight, you're smart, you're a citizen, you have a middle class, and both parents, oh man, you're screwed. Black Lives Matter was defined as a political movement to address systematic and state violence against African Americans. In a world where Black lives are systematically and intentionally targeted for demise, a curriculum at a whole cost the curriculum as a whole cost the district nearly $454,000. The racist revolutionary claptrap in these documents should be nowhere near a school classroom, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton said in a statement. These documents show the extremists have access to our schools and are willing to abuse this access to children in order to advance a dangerous, diversive, and likely illegal agenda, he added. Well, there is a great video from a while ago. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, man, Oh, who was it? So there was a guy, I think it was in the 70s, who did an interview about how communism is going to take over America. I'm pretty sure one of you all shared me that video. If you know the video I'm talking about, let me know what it is. Basically, he's talking about how in order to kill freedom here in America, all you have to do is get into the school systems. Get into the school systems and teach them how to hate America. Not that they're proud of where they come from, but that where they come from is a horrible place. You get them to believe that in 2 generations. First of all, you don't even need, you just need 1 generation. It takes 20 years. It takes about 20 years, he said, because the first, you're going to get 2 generations out of that's going to believe that America wasn't great. And this is back in the 60s or the 70s, right? And talking about how, I think it was at the time, like Russia or communism is going to come into America. And we're seeing it. Absolutely seeing it. Somebody saw that and like, that's it. That's exactly what we got to do. The Triple K was the Democrat baby that started them. Yeah, and I know. The Triple K was to come after freed slaves. Democrats who were not happy that they no longer had those people, and they thought that they were better. The actual supremacists. And then the NRA came and said, you know what? We need to stand up for them black people, make sure they have guns. And the Triple K didn't like that, did they? The Democrats didn't like that, did they? Sad what the NRA has become since then, but it started out as a good place. Rubik's Cube and your woohoo. Yeah, you like that one? That one's a good one. I like that one. Every 20 years, new indoctrination of normalcy, when it pertains to life, changes for all is introduced to children for later on in life. It has happened to all of us, pretty much. All right. China deploys army of fake Twitter bots. You can't have Twitter in China, but they are all over Twitter to boost their propaganda. You better all learn Mandarin. I'm thinking about learning it myself. I do like their food though. So I mean, there's one upside to it. This is a pattern that has been successful. I can't remember the video. Bet you Irish should know it. China's ruling Communist Party has opened a new front in its long...
Linked it, babe.
Oh, thank you, Bill. Was it that one?
I have tried to warn
Brethren and sisters, I have talked straight to you today. I know I will be abused by some for what I have said, but I want my skirts to be clean. Watchman, what of the night, is the cry of the faithful. I have tried to warn you of the darkness that is moving over us and what we can do about it if we will only follow the prophets.
So no, this wasn't it. It was an interview. It was an actual video. I'm not exactly sure on this. In 1959, he hosted leader of USSR during a short visit to American agriculture. Yada yada yada. Yeah, well, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. No problem. Lu Zai, that dude, who recently stepped down as China's ambassador to the United Kingdom, is one of the party's most successful foot soldiers on this evolving online battlefield. He joined Twitter in October of 2019 as scores of Chinese diplomats surged onto Twitter and Facebook, which are both banned in China. Since then, Lu has definitely elevated his public profile, gaining a following of more than 119,000 as he transformed himself into an exemplar of China's new sharp-edge wolf warrior diplomat, a term borrowed from the title of a top-grossing Chinese action movie. As it sees, they are so-called wolf warriors because there are wolves in the world and you need warriors to fight them. Lu, who is now China's special representation on Korea Peninsula affairs, tweeted in February. His streams of posts, principled and gusty riposte to Western anti-Chinese bias to his fans, aggressive bombast to his detractors, are retweeted more than 43,000 times from June through February alone. But much of the popular support Lu and many of his colleagues seem to enjoy on Twitter has in fact been manufactured. So it's all fake. Nice. Who's gonna get... Sure, you're gonna have a few super freaking, woke individuals who like, yeah, China's amazing. What's up, Mule? How you doing? How you doing? We are celebrating Real Girl's birthday today, and we're talking about the news. Later on, we're going to have some fun. A 7th-month investigation by the Associated Press and the Oxford Internet Institute, a department of Oxford University, found that China's rise on Twitter has been powered by an army of fake accounts. Okay. They have retweeted Chinese diplomats and state media tens of thousands of times, covertly amplifying propaganda that can reach hundreds of millions of people, often without disclosing the fact that the content is from a government-sponsored place. This type of analysis is possible because Twitter makes more of its data available to researchers than other social media platforms routinely do. More than half the retweets Lu got from June through January came from accounts that Twitter has suspended for violating the platform's rules, which prohibit manipulation. Overall, more than 1 in 10 of the retweets, 189 Chinese diplomats got it in that time frame, came from accounts that Twitter has suspended by March 1st. 1 in 10. So it's a tenth. That's not too bad. That means there's 9 other ones that might have been real people. But Twitter's suspension did not stop the pro-China amplification machine. In addition, clusters of fake accounts, many of them impersonating UK citizens, continue to push Chinese government content, racking up 16,000 retweets and replies before Twitter kicked them off late last month and earlier this month in response to the AP and the Oxford Internet Institute's investigation. Yeah, lots and lots of propaganda. Welcome to the world of propaganda. There's all sorts of propaganda. Shit, you could probably even consider what I'm doing propaganda. I'm giving you my opinion, and obviously I'm preaching to the choir a lot of the times, right? But it's getting to the point I don't even know what propaganda is. It's just, everybody thinks that their shit don't stink. Virginia teacher forced off the job because he considered trans pronouns child abuse. Well, that's a horrible individual, and he should be stopped at all costs. I am glad that he has been fired. A Virginia elementary school teacher was placed on administrative leave. Damn it, I thought he was fired. after he refused to comply with the far-left school district's pro-transgender ideology. Brian Tanner Cross, a physical education PE teacher in Loudoun County, challenged the school's district transgender policies during a school board meeting on Tuesday, likening them to child abuse. We're going to watch this guy. It's on YouTube. So I should be all right. It's only 2 minutes. It's fine.
A Virginia elementary school teacher has been put on leave after telling the school's board he wouldn't affirm trans kids because it goes against his Christian beliefs. Byron Tanner Cross gave the speech which resulted in his suspension at the Loudoun County School Board meeting on Tuesday. He was arguing two policies that the public school board have put in place. One which forces teachers to use the pronouns a transgender child identified with, and one which allows transgender kids to take part in sports in the group of the gender they identify with. Cross said that the policies defile the holy image of God and constitute child abuse. The local reaction to the school's decision has been mixed. Loudoun County, which is home to around 400,000 people, has become a microcosm of the issues that are currently dividing America: critical race theory, transgender rights, gay rights, and free speech. Parents there have been up in arms recently about recent school board decisions to promote diversity and, in the parents' view, dampen free speech and do away with tradition. They say that any time they speak out about anything, the school board tries to cancel them. Many parents are praising Tanner as a hero and say he was exercising his First Amendment rights.
My name is Tanner Cross, and I am speaking out of love for those who suffer with gender dysphoria. 60 Minutes this past Sunday interviewed over 30 young people who transitioned, but they felt led astray because lack of pushback or how easy it was to make physical changes to their bodies in just 3 months. They are now detransitioning. It's not my intention to hurt anyone, but there are certain truths that we must face when ready. We condemn school policies like 80-40 and 80-35 because it will damage children, defile the holy image of God. I love all of my students, but I will never lie to them regardless of the consequences. I'm a teacher, but I serve God first, and I will not affirm that a biological boy can be a girl and vice versa because it's against my religion, it's lying to a child, it's abuse to a child, and it's sinning against our God.
He might get a job at a Christian school. All right. Well, that's a horrible person. I'll be condemned. Legislation calls for the end to BLM flags flying at U.S. embassies. I didn't really know this until recent. I think it might have been Gerald who brought this up and told me that this is the thing. And I'm like, what? Why are we flying this flag at the U.S. embassies? Really? Representative Nicole of New York on Friday introduced the Star and Stripes Act of 2021, a bill that would reverse the State Department's guidance encouraging consulates and embassies to fly a BLM flag. 2 pages, the legislation states that diplomats' posts may fly the following: the American flag, state or territorial flags, the host country's flag, departmental or secretarial flags, the armed forces flag, or the POW/MIA flag. It is inappropriate to authorize and encourage the display of inherently political flags that are in no way affiliated with the U.S. government over American embassies overseas, they said in a press release. The administration's directive is an insult to those who made the ultimate sacrifice for our flag and our nation, especially as we head into Memorial Day weekend, and it is absolutely ridiculous that legislation is needed to correct the issue, she continued. If the bill passed, the Secretary of State Anthony Blinken would have to prevent diplomat posts from flying any other flags. They added, I have no idea. Advanced the bill less than a week after the State Department circulated a memo dated on 22nd of May that permits displays of the violent Marxist organization's flag. We encourage diplomatic posts to focus on the need to eliminate systematic racism and its continued impact, the memo said. But critics say BLM's overtly partisan agenda has little to do with eradicating racism and more to do with perpetrating racial discord, as well as systematic class inequality and oppression. According to its recently stealth-edited credo, BLM aims to uproot Western civilization. This is coming from them. Aims to uproot Western civilization, including the two-parent family. because that's true racism, having two parents in the home. Free exchange, Christianity, the rule of law, and Republican self-government. This, according to its own recent stealth-edited credo. Wow. The State Department said it intended the memo's guidance to honor George Floyd, who died of a likely drug overdose while in police custody last Memorial Day. This tragedy joined a long line of black men and women who have suffered at the hands of police brutality, the memo said. These national and global protests sparked a movement to confront systems of perpetrating deep-seated inequalities rooted in colonialism and the oppression of racial, tribal, ethnic, and other minority communities. They introduced the bill with support from prominent Republicans, including House GOP Conference Chair Elise Steadfank from New York. Our beautiful American flag should fly over the U.S. embassies and around the world, not the flag of a political organization founded by Marxists, as Stefank said in the press release. There you go. Milton Friedman warned America as well. Is that the one? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Hold on, I'm going to check. This might have been the guy. Yes. Thank you. I believe this is the guy. Can I find a short clip? They're all like super long. If you don't know about this guy, check him out. Back in the 70s, he pretty much laid out exactly what's going on right now. Okay. Seen on YouTube today, some woman in Arizona was flying an F Biden flag and under the thin blue line flag. Yeah, so there is a lady, I think, Northern Phoenix, who had a flag up that said fuck Biden. Well, it didn't even say fuck Biden. It had an F, it had the American flag, and a K, right? So the U and the C weren't even there. It was F, American flag, K, Biden. And at the bottom, it in fine print, it said, and if you voted for him, fuck you too. But that part was hard to read. Flying it up at their home. Nothing nobody could do. Oh, everybody's up in arms. Oh, this is the worst thing ever. Worst thing ever, right? Nothing they can do. Why? Because it's free fucking speech. And yeah, I thought about doing that. Riddle, I think, had found the story. I'm like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? This is hype. This is just more hypocrisy. How many of those flags did you see flying that said fuck Trump or Duff, whatever the hell that shit is, where they switched the letters? I had a guy on Central Avenue and Camelback every fucking day. The dude didn't have a job, I guess. Had a big sign saying dump Trump or whatever that was, right? All the time. Fuck Trump, fuck Trump this, fuck Trump that. And now they get a little bent out of shape. They even had a Hispanic woman on there. Oh, I fear for my kids because my kids saw a naughty word and they can read now. And this just kind of divisiveness, I don't like this bullshit. Absolutely bullshit. It's hypocrisy and I hate it. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. We are at that part of American history now that we are so freaking divided that, yeah, it is pretty much fuck you if you voted against the way I voted. It doesn't matter which one. And every other side gets butthurt. We got butthurt when we saw fuck Trump signs. And you saw a bumper sticker on somebody's car that said fuck Trump. You got a little heated. Well, let them get heated too. Everything on the United States flag code, I'll look at it, but I'm not probably going to read. Holy crap, bro. Wow. There's way too much pomp and circumstance. Like this, the whole show of what we do in our country, the pomps of it, like we gotta do this in a certain order, like the fucking swearing in of a president. Are you kidding me? The folding of the flag. I know You know, all my vets out there, y'all know the flag means a lot. And when they fold it and they put it over, you know, give it to the lady after the husband died or whatever, you know, that. But just seems unnecessary sometimes, man. Just seems like it's just for show. Especially when you have stories like this. Inflation explodes as Biden's money printing economic policies crush consumers. And Americans increased their spending by 0.5% in April, a slowdown after a big gain in March that had been powered by the distribution of billions of dollars in individual stimulus checks. Friday's report also showed that inflation, by a measure preferred by the Federal Reserve, surged by a bigger than expected 3.6% for the 12 months that ended in April, and an unsurprising development to those who understand the effects of massive money printing. Even excluding the volatile food and energy categories, which is where you see your true inflation in my opinion, core inflation over that period was still high at 3.1%. Both figures are far above the Fed's 2% annual inflation target. Yes, they try to inflate the dollar by 2%. They actually try to inflate your U.S. dollar by 2% every year. They want your dollar to be worth less every year. It doesn't really encourage you to save, does it? And a lot of accounts that you get is like a 2%. So if you put your money, let's say you get a 2% interest at a bank, you're breaking even at best. And it's Friday, and I could totally be off on a lot of that. In its report on Friday on consumer spending in April, the government said that goods purchased fell 0.6%. To some economists, this suggested that consumers have embarked on a long-anticipated shift away from the large goods purchases many of them had made while hunkered down at home to spend on services from haircuts to airline tickets to restaurant meals. The great consumer spending rotation to services has begun, said Gregorio Draco, chief U.S. economist at Oxford Economics. As health conditions continue to improve and the economy reopens, genuine fiscal stimulus, rebounding employment, and rising optimism will help unleash pent-up demand. Draco forecasts that consumer spending, the main driver of the U.S. economy, could grow this year around 9.5%. Friday's report from the Commerce Department also showed that personal incomes, which provide the fuel for spending, tumbled 13.1% in April. But the drop in income was expected, having followed a record 20.9% income gain in March that reflected the billions in one-time checks to most adults. The risk of a pickup in inflation continues to loom. Should inflation, which has been dormant for years, begin to accelerate on a sustained basis, it might compel the Fed to respond with interest rate hikes that could derail the recovery. Gus Faucher, chief economist at PNC Financial, said that while the April inflation figures exceed expectations, much of the increase related to the supply chain bottlenecks in such arenas as computer chips and autos. Yeah, it's really hard to get a computer chip right now. Ford has stopped production of the F-150s because of it. I'm having a real hard time finding a graphics card for her computer that we're going to be putting together. That's her birthday present. We're going to be putting that together like I used to put together rifles. The hardest thing that we're going to have finding is the graphics card. We have some temporary inflation pressures, Faucher said, but those will fade. So there is nothing that the Federal Reserve is going to be concerned about. Well, I'm glad they're not concerned. When asked about the rise in inflation, Chair Jerome Powell and other Fed officials have said repeatedly they believe the inflation spikes that have surfaced with some goods will prove temporary as a bottleneck supply chains are unclogged. Well, that's good. On Thursday, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen echoed this sentiment, but also cautioned a House committee that the economy could endure a bumpy period with high inflation through year's end. The 3.6% increase in prices over the past 12 months was the largest year-over-year rise since September of 2008. You remember 2008, don't you? Excluding volatile food and energy costs, the 3.1% year-over-year rise in core inflation was the sharpest since 1992. And the 1 month increase in core inflation in April of 0.7 was the biggest since 81. In its report Friday on spending and income, the government also reported the savings rate stood at a high of 14.9% in April, down from 27.7% in March. Many Americans built up savings over the past year, either from government stimulus checks or from hunkering down at home and avoiding much spending. Unfortunately, we're getting into our savings. I spent all your money? Or you spent all your money? Yeah, inflation. Yeah. Inflato? Can't go shopping. Her car was in the shop getting fixed. Good evening. What's up, Walter Davis? How you doing? Seen on YouTube today. Yeah, I heard that. All right. Sweet. And look who's stepping down from Black Lives Matter. Co-founder of Black Lives Matter announced this week she is resigning from her position of the executive director of the organization amid controversies over a multi-million-dollar properties she reportedly purchased. You know, she also did a video that cost $500,000 that most people said should have been $50,000. Patrisse Cullors, who have come under intense scrutiny in recent weeks for allegedly improperly handling of the organization's funds, said she felt like this is the right time to depart from Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation after nearly 6 years. So she's getting out. She's made her money. She's has her investments now. So obviously she doesn't need it now. I've created the infrastructure and the support and the necessary bones and foundation so I can leave, she told the Associated Press. It feels like the right time. Reports began emerging in early April that Cullors had purchased several properties, some in excess of $1 million. Wow. She bought at least 3 homes, 2 in California and 1 in Georgia, totaling more than $3 million. The report led to demands for a thorough investigation into Cullors and BLM's financial decisions. I hope they do go after her. If you go around calling yourself a socialist, you have to ask how much of her own personal money is going to charitable causes. Hawk Newsom, the head of Black Lives Matter Greater New York City, which is not affiliated with Black Lives Matter Global Network, and there's competing Black Lives Matter, said at the time, it's really sad because it makes people doubt the validity of the movement and overlook the fact that it's the people that carry this movement. Cullors did not deny purchasing the homes, but said she did not use BLM funds to buy them. Well, that should be pretty freaking easy to find out. I have never taken a salary from Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, she said on April 15th, but she paid $500,000 to her boyfriend to shoot a live video that was shit and was told that they could have gotten the best video producing thing out there for 50 grand. But she paid her boyfriend to do a shitty version for 10 times more than that. Yeah, she didn't take a paycheck. And that's important because the right-wing media is trying to say is the donations that people have made to Black Lives Matter went towards my spending, and that is categorically untrue and incredibly dangerous. Where'd your money come from then? What kind of job does you have? If you didn't take a single check from Black Lives Matter, what business are you in that you can have $3 million to spend on homes and investment properties? Cullors has also come under fire for failing to file the required financial disclosures for her charity, prison reform group, Dignity and Power Now, and her paying her baby daddy's company hundreds of thousands of dollars in contracts. Exactly. She didn't take one damn check. You believe that? My goodness. Oh yeah, and that was a Mark Dice video I was thinking about watching, but I've decided against it. Sweet. Hey, Stinger, Gerald Riddle, Bikes, Restreaming Mule. What's up, everybody? How you doing, Walter? Get any of those coyotes, Walter? You hunting coyotes? Shit. Fucking love hunting coyotes. I haven't hunted a coyote in a long time. We were in Texas. There were a few coyotes, but I didn't get a chance. I did go after a pig. I didn't shoot one, but I did spot the one we ran over with the truck. Scandals, haha, crimes, yeah. We'll see. I hope we get more stories about that. I would like to see if justice. Is there anything like real justice in this world? Black Lives Matter. Yeah. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. 100% they do. Everybody's life matters. That's the problem, though. You can't say everybody's life matters because that's racist. But I agree that people of color, their lives do matter. And I think anytime a police officer abuses his power and gets away with it, and there are plenty of instances where a cop has straight up killed somebody and gotten away with it. There was a guy here, Ryan Whitaker in Phoenix, who got shot in the back, trying to get down on his hands and knees, and the cop shot him in the back. That cop has been cleared of all charges. The killer of Ashley Babbitt, not even going to face trial. Nothing to see here. Even when George Floyd the video originally came out, I was for that. Like, yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I still don't like it. I think that, basically once the situation is handled, maybe you should have gotten your damn knee off of his back or neck or wherever the hell it was, right? But was it premeditated? Was he trying to kill him? No. And now with the toxicology reports, that's highly questionable. But there are plenty of instances where police officers Rodney King. Can we talk about systematic racism with Rodney King? I don't care. I don't care what color he was. I don't. If you just said we need to end police violence against US citizens. If you just said that, it'd be the same and I could get behind it myself. But you had to make it about race. When I can point out multiple examples, recent examples of white people getting murdered by the police for no damn good reason. It doesn't matter what color you are. We all bleed red when you get shot. And it doesn't matter. There are police officers that are great. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's plenty of fine police officers out there. I take back the only good police officer is an ex-police officer. I am sure there are good cops out there that don't have a power trip and want to rule over the lower class of people, and make you aware of your place on this planet. I'm sure there are some people that actually go out there and want to make a fucking difference. But there's enough of them out there who want to put their power over. Like, they think they're fucking more special. I am the law, right? I'm the law. You will respect my authority, or I will beat the shit out of you, or I will shoot you. Black lives matter. American lives matter. Fucking world people lives matter. People's lives matter. And the people of whatever country you're in are usually the ones that get abused the most. So the people need to come together and say, fuck this shit, stop dividing us, and actually do something about it. Will it all happen? No, probably not. This is well designed. This is definitely scripted. It's meant to do this. They are trying to divide us. They are succeeding in dividing us. They want to erase American history, and they are erasing American history. This guy, Milton Fryman, and there are others too, have seen this coming for a long time. This is planned. This is 100% planned, and it's going according to plan. Agenda 21, whatever you want to call it. The decimation of freedom, the killing of a republic, the killing of the greatest nation of all time is upon us. You can see the fall of the empire. The greatest empire of all time is falling, and it's been in the works for generations. Generations. I tried to link it. I had it, but then it's been removed. Ooh, what was that?
It was a video showing hundreds of pictures of Black children that had been murdered by Black Americans.
Yeah,
asking if their lives mattered.
yeah. See, that's the thing. We can get into that. We can get into that. Don't get into that. Do not play into that game. That's divisive. Do not play into the divisive game. That's exactly what they want. They want you to see, black on black violence. That's worse. You don't ever talk about that. You talk about all the gun violence out there with all these numbers and how horrible it is, but you don't talk about Chicago and all the deaths in Chicago. That is playing into what they want. Fucking come together, man. Ask them instead of that. Say, well, who do you think should have a firearm? Police? Yeah. Aren't they the ones that are killing black people? Yeah. You really want them to be the only ones with firearms? Make them fucking think. That's the thing. People don't think anymore. People are programmed. Make them fucking think. Don't be like, all lives matter. Of course they do. Of course they do. But start talking to them a little bit differently than that. Don't you think that it just seems like the police are after everybody? Yeah, I mean, we talk about the ones that are of color, obviously more, because that's what a lot of people want to talk about. But there are plenty of examples, and show those examples. See this person? See that they're white. They still got treated just as bad. Now, can't we just come together and say that cops have way too much, freedom when it comes to being able to kill somebody and get away with it? Could we have some police reform? Right? I'm okay with police reform. Can we have some police reform, but just make it, across the board, not just because George Floyd died, but because Americans are dying. George Floyd was an American, was he not? Instead of gay rights, can we not have human rights? You still have a right to vote, don't you? You still have the right of freedom of speech, don't you? You can cut your wiener off. I don't give a fuck. Cut it off. Call yourself a girl. Shit, I ain't gonna fucking care. You do you. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, I don't care what you do. Why do you need special rights to make you even more special? Are you not special enough? Hint, you are traffic. Yeah, I know. I'm a product. I'm a tax paying cattle. That's what I mean. How come the Latino MS-13 pledge does a $150 on a black person? There is no BLM outrage. I saw a video showing a photo of black. Okay, and I tried to link it, but it wouldn't work. So figure Riddle must be some oddball glitch. LOL. What? Riddle is a glitch of the Matrix and a fucking hot one. Had a state trooper try that authority crap on me. I told him he better remember who taxes give him a paycheck. Said, you work for the people. There you go. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. Telling a cop where his actual place is always dangerous. Always dangerous. Dealing with the cops is dangerous. I've had two instances with cops. Well, I've had more than two. I've had a lot more than two. But let me tell you of two. I've had one with a state trooper. This was within 1 year when I started carrying. I had a state trooper pull me over on the highway. Told him, hey, just so you know, I do have a firearm currently on me. It's concealed. It's on my right-hand side. And I already had my wallet out. All right, let me show this. Right? I had my wallet out. My hands on 10 and 2. Okay, sir. Just so you know, I do have a firearm on my right hip. He's like, all right, no problem. Is that your wallet in your hand? It sure is. All right, let me see it. Just don't go for the, your right side. We're all good. Oh, thank you, sir. No problem. I won't go for my right side. And I kept my hands on that steering wheel the whole damn time. Couple months go by. I'm in town. I get pulled over by a motorcycle cop. I do the same damn thing. Hands on the wheel, wallet in hand. Hey, sir, officer, I do have a firearm concealed on my right-hand side. Wants me to get out of the car. Slowly, with my hands up. Okay. You're pulling me over for a traffic violation. You want me to get out of the car with my hands up. Yeah. All right. Hands up. Okay, reach to your right very slowly and remove the firearm. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. I ain't touching it. I ain't touching it. My hands are going to stay up. I'll put them up higher. But I ain't touching that pistol not one fucking bit. If you want it, take it. But I'm putting my hands way up. Ain't nobody going to see me reaching for a gun with a cop here. Sure enough, he took it. He unloaded he took the magazine out. He took the round out of the chamber. He then proceeded to unload the magazine. Put the gun into his, the little back end of his patrol vehicle or whatever, his little, I don't know what it is for a police motorcycle, but his little compartment thing. He ran the fucking serial number. We get done with what we're doing. He gives me the gun empty, and he gives my wife the magazine and all the bullets. This is how terrified this cop is. It's a miracle I didn't get shot. I was in a major city. I would try to organize militia march in full kit through some shot hood where a kid got shot in a drive-by in the name of Black Lives Matter. Wake up. Yeah. Naughty, naughty. Wake up was a meme precursor for the woke crowd. Yeah. There's different versions of wake up. They consider them woke, and we consider ourselves woken up. Right? So it's very similar. For me, I just think I've been red-pilled. I finally have seen the veil removed a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, once you start, like, I think that's bullshit, then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, what else is bullshit in here? You know what I mean? There's a lot of fucking bullshit. I'm ready to cook dinner. I'm going to share a video, watch it twice, 3 times. All right, bikes. You got to hurry up because we're about done. In fact, let me go over to D-Live right now. We're going to add some lemons to the chest. I don't know if anybody donated lemons, but we're adding a few in there. Let's go ahead and submit those. I'm telling you this so that you guys can get ready to claim the rewards as soon as I distribute them, which I am distributing them right about now. So make sure that you click on it. I got 100 lemons in there. Congratulations to anybody who wins this. All right, cool. And then getting back to the channel though, down in the descriptions, we do have a new cause I believe in and support, and that is for the PH Association. PAH is a disease that is very rare. Not very many people get it, but it is a life sentence, meaning that there is no cure for it. I suffer from PAH. I will die from it. I will be gasping for air at some point in my life unless I get killed sooner. It is what it is. I'm on medication to help prolong my life, but there is no absolute cure for it. How long I get, I don't know. I've had it for 2 years. I haven't really talked about it much, but I've come to terms with it. So if you want to donate, if you're looking for a cause to believe in support, that's one that doesn't get any government funding. It's so rare that the government would rather put money towards other things that are not as rare. And I get that. So this is why I'm bringing it up. This is a cause that is close to my heart, literally. And I believe in it. Next, we have the Gun Owners of America. They're going out and actually trying to get your gun rights restored, which, you know, they're doing a lot more than the NRA are doing right now. So I do appreciate that. And I support the GOA. And I am a member of the GOA. I am not a member of the NRA and never have been. And I'm proud of that. Because I thought about joining it a few times when I first got into owning firearms again. I've always grown up around firearms, but I didn't have any in my adult life until 2011, 2012, somewhere around there. Anyway, next, down in the descriptions is projectrecover.org. That's an organization that goes out and looks for lost service members and returns their remains to their families. Great organization. And lastly, my favorite organization is Rally Point Irish. That is a GoFundMe page set up by my good friend Irish, USMC vet. He's trying to start a location in Tennessee where vets can come and stay room and board free while learning a new skill like farming, blacksmithing, and gunsmithing. Half of everything donated to this channel goes directly to that cause. That's how much I believe in it. So if you donate to this channel, which you don't have to, but if you decide that you want to, just know that 50% goes to Rally Point Irish. Now you can directly give him a donation, or donation for that if you want, which would be great. I used to be able to donate to him a lot more back when this channel was monetized. However, we got demonetized quite a few months ago, and haven't been able to donate to him in a long time. Kind of sucks, but I plan on doing it soon. Right now, financially, couldn't do it if I wanted to, but you know how it is. Other than that, we have all the places you can follow me. We have Discord, which if you don't know about Discord, you should really look into Discord. Discord's an amazing private, kind of like Facebook / Twitter, where we can share ideas, we can share memes, we can share stories, we can talk on the phone. We can have, like, it goes on your phone too. It'll go on your computer and it will go on your phone. It's a messaging service. You can make calls on it. You can have video calls on it. We can have after chats. It's a great thing. If you don't have Discord, please look into Discord. My link is down there below. All the ways you can donate to the channel if you want to are down below as well. And if you want to help the channel out without giving any money, just like, comment, subscribe, and share. Sharing the video with people that you think would enjoy it is the best way to help the channel out, other than paying me money. And you don't have to do that. All right, let me catch up on chat. Behind the seat, hold up. Walter Davis, I got stopped, didn't say anything till the cop asked, do you have a weapon? I said, yeah, and a permit. He said, what and where? I said, a pistol on my hip, a scoped rifle, and a short shotgun. Behind the seat, a handful of fixed blade knives. He said, why? I said, because I can. He said, nothing. America. All right. Also, at about a dozen people here working in the yard while cleaning the yard. Oh, cool, Gerald. Thanks. Mike's got the link. Nice. And there is no politics in the video. None. Only law. Okay, cool. I will check that out, Bikes. The sad thing is the areas we cleared have grown back in with small trees again. Yeah, it never ends, does it? Gerald, back in the 80s, I had of the family farm clear. Now the pastures ate all due to be cleared again. Yeah, it keeps growing back, don't it? All right, guys, that's it for us. I am going to take a brief moment to have dinner, and then we're going to be live on Twitch. So, twitch.tv/stingers playground. We're going to be playing some games with the audience. They're called Jackbox games. They're interactive. You get to play along. There's a trivia game. There's drawing games. And if you're watching me on a device like a phone, a tablet, or a computer, you can play along with us. So we're going to be going over there. We'll be there in about an hour. Well, actually about, I guess, 40 minutes. And if you guys want to join us, great. If not, I will see you again on Monday, because we are not going to have a Patriot Bible chat tomorrow, because we're actually going to Oregon Stop Pizza with our neighbor, who is also having a birthday soon, as a celebration dinner. So that's going to happen right when the Patriot Bible chat usually is. So no Patriot Bible chat tomorrow. I will see you again on Monday. Until I do, make sure to watch out for that government. Try to live as free as you can in the tyrannical world we live in. God bless you. Peace.